Dynasties in the NFL don't come around too often. You gotta have that perfect mix of talent, coaching, and an insane desire to just straight up dominate year after year after year after year. The Patriots with Belichick and Brady, yeah, they were an absolute blueprint. For almost 20 straight years, they made the rest of the league their ragdoll, racking up rings and stats like it was nothing. But eventually, all greats have to come to an end, right? Well, there is a new contender in the ring, and they're coming out of Missouri of all places. Yep, we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs here, and let me tell you, they look scary good, and they're quickly becoming the team that nobody wants to see on their schedule. From Pat Mahomes just casually making throws that blow your mind, to Andy Reid's excellent play calling talent, to a defense that actually doesn't suck anymore, they've got all the ingredients to be the next big thing. But building a true dynasty is going to take more than just prime talent and coaching and, sure, maybe a little bit of luck. There's got to be an attitude, a killer instinct throughout that whole organization that needs to be obsessed with winning year after year after year. I'm talking absolutely no slip-ups, no screw-ups, and no whatever the heck the Chiefs were doing before making this epic run for a dynasty. I mean, we're talking about the kind of culture where putting up banners becomes the norm and not the exception. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down to see if the Kansas City Chiefs really have what it takes to be the next legendary dynasty to be able to terrorize the NFL for years to come, and if they can actually fill the massive void left by the end of the Patriots' dominance, because I don't know about you, but I am ready for a new bully to take over the league. But before we begin, go ahead and make sure that you press that subscribe button for more great content. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. The blueprint for a dynasty. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of what the Chiefs are going to need to pull off a multi-year dynasty, let's rewind that clock to the legendary run of the New England Patriots from 2001 to 2018. Think about it. Bill Belichick, the mastermind coach calling the shots, and Tom Brady, the most cool-headed quarterback tearing up defenses like it's nobody's business. Belichick and Brady were like two peas in a pod, cooking up winning recipes with Belichick's genius game plans and Brady's deadly accuracy. They were just unbeatable, plain and simple, and it wasn't just them though. The Patriots had a whole crew of stars from Randy Moss to Rob Gronkowski who bought into the team-first mentality like it was gospel. Practice, film sessions, every single little detail, it all mattered to these guys. They were obsessed with winning, and it showed on and off the field. And we all know Brady, right? The guy almost never missed any games, playing at an MVP level deep into his 40s. Having that stability and continuity at the most important positions just fueled the dynasty. But realistically, what made the Patriots special was just their hunger for greatness. You got 9 Super Bowl appearances in 18 seasons, which is not just impressive, it is downright insane. They literally set the bar for what it meant to be a dynasty in the modern NFL, and it's a bar that might never be reached again. The makings of the next dynasty. So, let's go ahead and answer the big elephant question in the room. Do the Chiefs check all of those same boxes that the Patriots did? Well, the early returns are incredibly promising. First of all, let's start with coaching. Just like Belichick did with New England, Andy Reid's been working his magic down in KC since 2013, and he's got this genius for offense and been getting his players to really believe in what they're doing, kind of like how the Patriots were under the hoodie. People in the league always talking about Reid like he's some kind of crazy offensive genius, always coming up with crazy plays that makes Mahomes look like a superstar, and it's not just about all the X's and O's. Reid's got this knack for spotting coaching talent and helping him grow, just like his old mentor did. I mean, sure, sometimes Reid might get a little too cutesy with his neat trick plays when a simpler approach would just work fine, but you can't deny the guy's ability to get the best out of his players and make them feel responsible for their performance. He's literally the kind of leader that every team dreams of having. Now, we gotta get into quarterbacking here. If we're talking about the ultimate coach QB duo, Belichick and Brady definitely set that bar way high in the sky, but Reid and Mahomes, they just might be giving them a run for their money. Mahomes himself is like a once-in-a-lifetime draft pick talent, pulling off crazy throws and plays that just leave you speechless. And that's an it factor because Mahomes has it in spades. Now, what really sets apart Mahomes here is his intense drive to win. Money? Fame? Power? Nah, none of that stuff matters. This guy is in the film room tweaking his game and making sure he's always one step ahead. And whenever he hits that field, it is game over, people. From his cannon arm to the side off-the-cuff moves, Mahomes is a defensive coordinator's worst nightmare. And the numbers are backing it up too. Because by the time that he's 28, Mahomes has already been outpacing Brady in wins, playoff victories, Super Bowl MVPs, you name it. Seriously, it's kind of scary to think he's only getting started. Telling you, watch out NFL, Mahomes is here to stay. Now, what's the main crew without a good supporting cast? That said, the Chiefs haven't just leaned on Mahomes and Reid. They've practically built a squad that echoes those powerhouse Patriots teams from back in the day. Let's start with Travis Kelce. He's not just a tight end, he's the fiery heartbeat of the team, bringing energy and grit every single time he steps on the field. But it's not just Kelce here. The Chiefs are surrounding Mahomes with a whole arsenal of weapons. From the speed demon Kadarius Toney to the bulldozer Jerick McKinnon, they've got a diverse set of skills that keeps defenses guessing. Oh, and by the way, since we are talking about defense, finally, the Chiefs have a unit worthy of the name. Chris Jones and George Karlaftis, absolute beasts in the trenches, wreaking havoc like it's nobody's business. And the secondary, it is stacked to the gills with playmakers that are ready to snatch the ball away at a moment's notice. I mean, sure, yeah, the offense gets all the glory, but it's defense that really has been driving the force behind the Chiefs' dominance in the AFC. You need some teeth on the side of that ball if you want to get a true powerhouse team together. But here's the icing on the cake. The Chiefs, they're not just relying on star power. They've been nailing their draft picks left and right, and free agent signings have been a domineering force for their team, building up depth across the board. And in a league where the salary cap rules all, that kind of consistency is what separates the contenders from the pretenders. So, what about a winning mentality? Gathering all of this talent is one thing, but let me tell you here, the Chiefs have cultivated a winning mindset that screams dynasty. They've got that killer instinct where literally anything less than a victory is simply not an option. But what really blows my mind here is the level of consistency they've been able to achieve. Think about it. 4 Super Bowls, along with 4 AFC Championship games in only 5 years? That is the kind of dominance that we haven't seen since the Patriots were running the show back in the 2000s. And check this out. The Chiefs aren't just satisfied with 1 or 2 titles. Nah, not even close. They're out here talking about running it back and gunning it for 3-peats next season. It's not just about winning a trophy here and there. They're on a mission to build an empire, plain and simple. And trust me, they are well on their way. But before we get into the praises and lauding all of the awards, you gotta remember there's a couple obstacles that are still in their path. Of course, being crowned the next great NFL dynasty is easier said than done, and the Chiefs will have to be successful in navigating a few major potential roadblocks. Starting off, there's the salary cap. You know what's tougher than building a dynasty? Keeping that core squad intact for the long haul, especially when you're dealing with salary caps and the wild world of free agency. The Chiefs themselves are staring down some serious decisions as Mahomes' mega contract kicks in at over $45 million per year. Now, here's the thing though. They've got to be smart about it, and finding those hidden gems in the draft and snagging value picks is going to be key in keeping the roster stacked year after year. Plus, you got to take into consideration the depth chart. Having solid backup plans across the board, especially in the trenches, is an absolute must. It's all about the next man up mentality, even when faces are changing faster than you can blink. I mean, just ask the Patriots. They were the kings at playing this game. And what about the injuries? A key driver of the Patriots dynasty was remarkably good health for Brady and their stars over the years. While Reid's teams are known for being smart about managing reps, one gruesome Mahomes injury could completely derail the Chiefs' championship when luck stays on their side. And finally, the road ahead. You know, whenever you look at the Chiefs, it's kind of hard not to see the potential for something truly special here because they've got all the right pieces. Reid calling the shots, Mahomes slinging the rock like nobody's business, and a squad that is hungry for victory. So calling them the next Patriots, listen, let me just, kind of hear me out a little bit, might be premature, but they keep up their winning ways. And let me tell you, it's going to be hard to ignore the parallels. I mean, we're talking about a team that's rewriting the playbook day in and day out, making big plays when it counts and striking fear into the hearts of the opponents. So could this be the start of a new dynasty? Well, according to my book, all signs point to yes. But only time's going to tell if the Chiefs can actually keep that magic alive and bring home those Lombardi trophies every single time they turn around. One thing's for sure though, the NFL better watch out because the Chiefs are on the rise and they are not slowing down anytime soon.